Let's raise a glass to the only child who ever truly made us proud." Her voice sliced through the hush before the sound of the knife even touched the cake. The toast had already begun, and everyone's eyes instinctively shifted toward my younger brother Ethan. "The golden child," he gave a bashful grin. The kind that pretended to be shy, though we all knew it wasn't. He loved the spotlight. The applause followed enthusiastic, not just courteous. Meanwhile, my place at the table didn't exist. No chair pulled out for me. No name card. No plate. Just an empty space between polished crystal. I stood there, breath caught deep in my chest, painful like it scraped bone. "Glad someone finally said it," I murmured. I turned to walk away, but then came my father's voice. Sharp, cold, commanding. "Stop." Then quieter, more dangerous. "Tell them what you did." The beginning traces back 3 years. Ethan had just kicked off his so-called startup, a crypto venture that sounded impressive but lacked any real foundation. Instagram stories, his shiny new Tesla, team bonding trips to Tulum, and a luxury espresso machine with a caption that read CO Fuel. The betrayal seeped in slow, corrosive. It hollowed everything. He'd grossly exaggerated his user base, claiming 50,000 users when I knew he barely had 200. I had just climbed to vice president after over 10 years clawing through the cutthroat world of finance. Mom didn't blink. She beamed at Ethan, declaring, "He'll be the one to make our family's name matter." As if all my sacrifices were meaningless. As if my achievements were just placeholders. Still, I helped. I handed him $60,000, no strings, no interest, no legal contracts, because that's what siblings do. Or so I thought. At every family event, Mom would glow while talking about Ethan's ventures like she was announcing the birth of royalty. I verified documents, tracked transfers. I didn't confront him. I gave her 3 months. I once mentioned a major promotion. She didn't even glance up from her phone. Weeks slipped into months. Months into years. No repayments, not even updates. What I got instead? It didn't hit all at once. I swallowed it in silence, endured the dismissals, the one-sided affection, attended every dinner, laughed when expected, played along as they all devoured Ethan's fantasy success. Dad's words were always the same. "You've always been fine. Let him shine." They treated me like scaffolding, essential but invisible once the masterpiece went up. So I shut up, but I started paying attention. The first hint came via a mistake. Ethan accidentally CC'd me on an email intended for an investor. Then came the LLC papers. My name was listed as co-founder, the signature forged. He'd created 2 shell companies using my identity. Both were tied to offshore bank accounts. I printed everything. Instead, I made a call to an old friend who worked white-collar cases at the DOJ. Her only words were, "Give me some time." I gave her more than that. In those months, I wore the mask. Then came the big announcement. He was taking the company public. The family practically erupted in celebration. Mom popped open champagne. "We always knew you'd be the one," she said, glowing. That night, I made my final move. His hands shook as he flipped through page after page, bank trails, emails, fraudulent documents, the fake LLCs, my forged name, and at the very baka, notarized affidavit from the Department of Justice. I mailed a discreet package to his primary investor. Inside, complete financial records, stolen IP evidence, forged signatures, and one note that read, "You lied. You planned this? You set him up? You always said I was cold, methodical, detached. You weren't wrong. You took what wasn't yours? And you believed the applause would protect you. Ask him who truly wrote the code." By Thanksgiving, it was over. His assets, frozen. Investors, gone. Regulators, circling, should have remembered. Empires built on lies crumble hard. The IRS, asking tough questions. And Ethan, still clueless about who'd set the avalanche in motion. Until tonight, until that toast, until I stood to leave, and Dad said, "Tell them what you did," just to ask why, as if loyalty meant silence in the face of deceit. I paused, looked at him, then at all of them, then at Ethan, his skin drained of color, his gaze twitching, sensing the storm was near. I walked back slowly. My heels echoed like warning shots across the floor. I placed my bag on the table, calmly pulled out a folder, and slid it across to Ethan. "Go ahead," I said. "Take a look." He didn't move at first. Mom leaned forward. "What is this?" I stayed silent. Ethan opened the folder. Nobody spoke. He tried, voice barely audible. I didn't, you did, I said. Mom's face twisted in disbelief. I met her eyes unblinking. No. He set me up. I just made sure there were eyes on him this time. Then I turned to Dad. To my mother. And you. You taught me that love had terms and conditions. This was mine. Then to Ethan. You wanted to be king. I walked away. This time, no one called me back. It's been 6 months. Ethan's under federal indictment 3 fraud charges, plus identity theft. 10 years is on the table. Mom's tried to reach me. I blocked her. Dad mailed a letter. Not to apologize, but me. I feel nothing. No sorrow, no second thoughts, only clarity. Sometimes, the only way to make a room full of people hear you people who've ignored you your whole life is to set fire to the pedestal they built for someone else. They toasted him. But they never saw me coming.